We've all played platformer games before, but have you ever wondered how long it would take to make one of these games? Let's look it up real quick. From hours to several years? I definitely don't have several years, but I think that I can make one in about a week. The first thing that I'm going to do is create a new project in Unity and name it Platformer. Now that we are in the editor, we can create two squares, one for the ground and one for the player. We will need to make the ground a little bigger and then move it down a bit. Then we can name them and add a few basic components. We can now hit play and the game should work. It works, but we don't have any way to move yet. I just added in movement, and if we go down here and add in a speed and a jump height, then we will be able to move and jump around like this. Now that we have basic movement, we will need to make some textures. I will be using a website I found called Pixel Art to make the textures for the game. I decided to go for a grassy theme for the main platforms in the game, so I created a nice grass texture and made sure to make a full tile palette so I can make whatever types of platforms I want in the future. For the design, I went for a dirt texture with a layer of green pixels at the top. I also had to make sure that I could make thinner platforms and walls, so I had to make another 2x2 palette. I used the same design and colors for this one as in the last one so it would blend in. Now that we have a grass texture, we can replace the ground. So we're just going to delete the old ground and replace it with the new ground. We can now jump around the level with the new grass textures, but we still need to add some platforms. I just added some platforms that you can jump around on, and now this is starting to look like an actual platformer game. The game is looking good, but we need to add in some danger, otherwise there's no difficulty. I decided on making a spike object. I first started with a red triangle, then I had to add a script to make it actually kill you. As you can see now, we can jump over the spike fine, but we die when we touch it. The design for the spike right now doesn't match the pixel art theme, so I decided to make a sprite for it to fit in more. I decided to go for the classic red spike to give it some contrast with the rest of the level. I just put the new spike sprite in the level and it is looking really good and is working just like the old one. I decided to make some new textures for a wall and a jump pad so I could have some more variety and more tools to make levels. I used a gray pipe design for the wall and a green pad design for the jump pad. Before I add these new objects, I first need to add and fix a couple more things. First, I need to make the camera follow the player. As you can see, the camera now follows the player wherever they go. The second thing I need to do is fix the glitch where you can just climb up a platform from the side, and you can also cling to the roof for some reason. As you can see, you can no longer climb the roof or side of blocks. Now we can begin making the jump pad. I'll start by making a new object and adding the jump pad texture. Then I quickly adjusted the position to put it above the block and added a box collider and script. We now have the jump pad finished and it works perfectly. On day 2, I made a quick example level using all of the current objects and it is looking and playing pretty well. I decided to add a moving platform into the game to add more timings and difficulty into the levels. Now we can click play and it should be working. And what the heck is going on? It's definitely moving, but not in the right way. We now got the platform moving correctly, and we can customize it to move up, down, left, right, and or a combination of any of those. I just made a quick example level using the new moving platforms, and a jump pad, and it is looking pretty good. The next thing I wanted to add was a moving saw to kill you if you hit it. I made a nice sprite and added it to the game. Then I added all of the necessary components like the circle collider, rigid body, and movement script. We now have a moving saw that can move in any direction you want and kills you if you touch it. Now that we have the saw done, we just have one more object to create. I decided to make a lockbox type of thing that will make you collect a key to unlock the next area. I decided to go for a wooden design for the lockbox and make the center white so I can color it in Unity easier. I also made a white key to also color later in Unity. I just put the lockbox and key into the editor and they are looking good, but they don't do anything yet. I started work on the lockbox by adding a script to the key and another to the lockbox, but I will have to finish it tomorrow. I just finished the lockbox and key, and you can now bump into it and can't pass through it until you collect the key. Most of the game was looking good, but the background and player sprite was off, so I made a custom background, and I then decided to make a parallax effect for it. The parallax effect is now done, and as you can see, the background moves around as you move around the level. The only sprite left to do is the player. The player sprite is now done, and the platform game has all of the sprites done completely. I set up a nice main menu screen with a placeholder name for now. It has 3 buttons to play the game, quit the game, and a level selector. I also made a level select screen that has 10 levels that I will be making in the next few days. The main menu and level select screen now work, and you can easily go between them and even click the play game button to go to the first level. I got lazy and did not do a single thing on day 4 and 5, so I had to focus for the last 2 days. I decided to get started on the first level, so I had to expand the ground to make more room. I finished the first level and it should be working now. It starts out with some easy jumps, going over a few spikes. We then add in the wall and a couple of harder jumps like jumping over a spike. I then added in a section where you have to climb up a little area by jumping on different platforms. The level gets a bit harder here with a triple spike and a platform with 2 spikes on both sides. The second to last part of the level is a few jumps leading to a drop with spikes on the sides of the wall. The last and hardest part of level 1 consists of a quad spike with a couple high jumps at the end where I'm going to put the level end screen. I just added the level end screen and it's looking pretty good right now. It just reloads the screen, but I'm going to make it go to the next level soon. It's the end of day 6 now, and I made it to the start of level 5. As you can see, I have a level starting layout that I'm using to make all the levels and will continue on day 7. I finished the rest of the remaining levels, and I'm starting on the windscreen. I decided to just reuse the background for the windscreen. I started with just a couple texts, and then I added in the frame for the title. I then adjusted the text to fit in the frame, and the windscreen is looking pretty good. I just had to add a couple buttons to go to the main menu and show you your total time. The main menu screen and all its buttons now work. We can play the game and go through all the levels. I added a button to skip levels for testing purposes. We can see that the timer stops and shows you total time when you beat the game. The level selector also works, and you can play any level you want now without having to worry about time. A minor glitch we have right now is the game completely breaking when you go into a different resolution. I fixed this by adding black bars that change to whatever your resolution is. Right now, the game is still missing sound effects, so I'm going to be making them with a program called JSFXR. I decided to make a sound for jumping, dying, and clicking buttons. I also decided to find some free background music to use that will be linked in the description. The sound effects are now in and working perfectly. The background music plays good, and whenever you click, there is a little select sound. The jump sound and kill sound are also working good, as you can see, which means the game is officially finished and ready to showcase. Before we get to the showcase, I would really appreciate if you subscribed because this is a new channel and every person helps. Anyways, on to the showcase.